Do you own a bath or a spa? Then you may be considering using this product or a bath and spa paint from Benjamin Moore. You're in luck because I'm about to give you my thoughts on it, and to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan. I'll tell you why right now. Yo, what's cracking, folks? Jeremy Vassar here with Practical Painting. We are professional painters here to help you with your various painting endeavors. And in this video, I will be reviewing and giving you my thoughts on this product right here. It is Aura Bath and Spa from Benjamin Moore. And this should be a relatively interesting review because I do have a few hang-ups about this particular product, which we will get into in a second. Alrighty, let's put this product into context a little bit. We paint behind a lot of contractors that do quite a few renovations. One of the things that gets remodeled very frequently are bathrooms. So whether it's a master bathroom, guest bathroom, whatever, they get redone quite a bit. And if they have a shower or a bath in them, anything that's going to produce a lot of moisture, you have to use a specialty product on the ceiling and the walls to really protect those surfaces. And if we're going to go with a Benjamin Moore loadout, then we use this product, which is made specifically for bath and spa applications, anything where it's going to get exposed to moisture. So this has mildew resistance built into it. So you're going to have, you're going to stand the best shot at it holding up the longest on your painted surfaces. So particularly the ceiling is very important to paint with a specialty product like this because steam rises, so it's going to hit the ceiling the hardest, and then it kind of diffuses from there. But if we're ever painting a bathroom with Benjamin Moore products, we're going to use the bath and spa on both the ceiling and the walls. Again, that's just for bathrooms that have a steam-producing element like a shower or a bath. All right, so again, I'm going to review this product on my 5 categories that I put all of my kind of paint reviews through. And I mentioned this in my most recent review that I did of Benjamin Moore Regal Select. But these reviews are for you guys. So if I'm not covering something that you want me to touch on, hit us up in the comments. We do read those. A lot of times my brother's responding to you guys, but I also respond some as well. We're starting to get quite a few, so we try and tag team it a little bit. But if, you know, I'm trying to do these reviews so it is the most helpful for you all at home. And if there's something I'm not covering or you want more specifics on it, if I don't know it, I can definitely figure it out and I can include it in a future review, or I can come back and, you know, add to this review or whatever. So anyway, if you think of anything, just hit us up in the comments. We do read them, and I just want to make sure that I'm being as helpful as possible in these reviews and making sure I'm giving you the information that you need to make the right choice for whatever product you want to buy or whatever application you're doing in your own home or someone else's. So that's my 2 cents on that. Let's get right into the rest of the review with, let's see, we'll switch it up. I'll do the same thing I did in the last one, and we'll talk about cost with this product because that's one of my hang-ups about it, and because it's expensive. As far as cost goes, I've mentioned this before, Benjamin Moore does not have unified pricing. However, they do have, they have minimums that people have to charge for certain products. This is one of those products. So unless you find a crazy sale or I don't know, your store is amazing or whatever, you're going to pay around $70 a gallon for this paint right now, which is a fair amount. I've talked about before, you know, when you're ordering paint, how much of whatever product it is do you actually need? So there's certain things, if it is really expensive, it might not be that big a deal because you might not buy a lot of it. And you could make a case for that for this particular scenario, because if you're painting a bathroom, you know, even if it's a decent sized bathroom, it's very unlikely you're going to need more than 2 gallons. So, I mean, it's just, I don't know. I have a hard time wrapping my head around it that this is $70. And we'll get into it when I start talking about how it finishes and performs and things like that. I don't think this is a $70 product. I'd be okay paying a premium price for this product if there weren't alternatives that were less expensive and, in my opinion, performed better. So my direct alternative for this in our bathrooms that we do a lot of is Duration Matte from Sherwin-Williams. It also has moisture and mold block built into it. That's what we use on the ceiling and the walls in most of the bathrooms that we do. So that's quite a bit less expensive than this product, at least at the time of this filming. Who knows what'll happen with paint prices in the future. So also, if you're gonna pick 2 different colors, like say you have your ceiling is a different color and then the walls are a different color, in your bathroom, then you're talking 2 gallons of this automatically. Because usually you might have like a white ceiling and then whatever color on the wall, that's 2 gallons you're going to have to get. You're already out $140 just for 2 gallons, which is, that stings a little. It might not matter to some of you folks, but that's just something to consider, particularly when there are other alternatives like Duration Mat or even Emerald Mat from Sherwin-Williams, which both come in at a lower price point than that, particularly if you can get it on sale. So that's cost for you. Alrighty, category numero dos is workability. This is just kind of my catch-all category for what this product is like to work with. Nothing too crazy here. I do have some hang-ups about some application techniques that you need to be aware of, but I think I'm going to get into that when I talk about how this product finishes. So cutting in, I don't have a big issue with. It goes on pretty smooth. It's thicker, a little bit thicker than some paints you might be used to. But it doesn't really slow me down. It's not so thick like the ultra flat ceiling paint from Benjamin Moore, which is stupid thick. It's like smearing mayonnaise. But rolling's fine too. The only thing I've noticed, because you are very likely going to be putting this on ceilings as well, it does fleck quite a bit when you're doing overhead rolling. I've noticed that it does fleck more than normal, at least more than other products that I use in a similar fashion, like Duration Mat or Promar ceiling paint or something like that that's going overhead. So just be aware of that when you are rolling. You need to very much make sure that you're tarping everything off. But it's not a crazy amount. It's fairly, I just noticed it a little bit more compared to the other products that I'm used to using. Let's see, its odor, it smells good because Benjamin Moore puts fragrances in here, so usually it smells like flowers or whatever else they're doing. Some of their paints have like a lemony smell. It just kind of depends on the vintage, I suppose, but overall the odor is fairly pleasant. Again, it's latex based, so the fumes aren't really bad at all. And dry time's not a problem either. It's like dry to the touch in an hour, and then recoat is between like 1 and 2 hours. All that really means to anyone that's working with this paint is you can for sure get 2 coats on in a day, no problem. You could do 3 if you had to. But if you're moving air around in the room, you're going to be fine, and we never had any recoat issues with this. As far as coverage goes, again, I don't have any issues with this product. It is a premium kind of wall and ceiling paint in most applications, so it covers most colors in 2 coats. Like I say in almost all my reviews, if you have an extreme color change, you're probably going to need to use either a white primer or a gray primer, depending on which way you're going. So if you're putting a much darker color over a lighter color, you might need to use a gray base primer and then do 2 top coats, and the vice versa. If the walls are dark and then you're painting it a very light color, you might need to prime the walls with a light like white primer and then do your 2 top coats with this. So never had any coverage issues. That's not where my hang-ups lie. But I do have an issue with its finish quality, which is the next category. When I say that, what I'm looking at is what the product looks like on the surface once it's cured and dried and all that good stuff, and you've applied it. How does it look, feel, all that stuff. So then this comes back to what I was saying with workability. What I have noticed, this product is particularly prone to picture framing, which means I can tell a difference between where I've cut in and where I've rolled way more than most of the other paints that I've used. And that, it is particularly clear on ceilings, and when the light hits the ceiling a certain way, you can really tell the difference between the cut-ins, around the corners. If you have like fixtures in the room or anything like that you've cut in and then rolled into, you can really tell a difference between where you've rolled and where you've cut in. For me, that's slightly upsetting because, again, this is $70 a gallon, so I would expect a slightly better finish quality than that. So this is kind of what we figured out. If you're going to use this product, and particularly on the ceilings, you want to go out of your way to get that roller as close to the corner as possible, or anything that you've cut around. The closer you can get the roller to that, then the less issue you're going to have with this. We've even gone out of our way and used like a mini roller to get really tight in the corners. And anything that we can roll, we just really try and get as close to it as possible with this product. But yeah, so I don't have a problem with the sheen per se. It's just the picture framing issue is something you really need to be aware of as you're applying it. So again, for something that costs $70 a gallon, I would expect a little bit better ease of use, I would say. That being said, as far as rolling it and like any rolled surfaces with this, it does look good. The matte finish looks nice. I don't want to besmirch it too much. A lot of people really like this product. I just really don't like that picture framing issue and how finicky it is to work with in that particular area. And last but certainly not least, let's talk about durability. I do get quite a few questions about painting in bathrooms, and a lot of people will have had, particularly if you had builder's grade paint put in your bathroom that had a shower or bathtub in it, anything that's going to, again, produce steam. That's where I see that those paints fail all the time. A lot of times the builder's grade stuff is a flat paint that they put on the ceiling right above the shower. You get mold issues, the paint cracks out, the drywall will start to kind of pull apart behind it. I've seen tape failures, all that stuff, particularly when people are taking very steamy showers, which is why you want to use a specialty paint like this that has the mildew and moisture blocking agents built into it. Now, you'll see different manufacturers make different claims, but just anecdotally over the span of my painting career, what I have noticed is that no matter what product you put inside of a bathroom that's got a real steamy shower or tub in it, if you don't properly vent that bathroom, you're going to have issues with like moisture and mold. You might see the walls sweat. We see that a lot, where if you look at the walls, it almost looks like they're sweating or crying, like there's liquid. Because what'll happen is you'll take a shower, it gets super steamy. Particularly if it's not properly vented, the steam will hit the ceiling, and then once it hits the ceiling, it'll then roll down the walls, accumulate on the walls, and then you'll see a lot of times it'll pull the pigment out of the paint, or it'll pull the sheen, or a combination of the two, and then it kind of like sweats down the walls, which is not a solid look, but we see that all the time. I just did a quote this week where I saw it, and then what I asked the homeowner, I'm like, well, do you run your fan? And they're like, oh, I don't run it when I take a shower. It's like, so you really want to use that exhaust fan, and if you're getting your bathroom remodeled, make sure that thing is placed properly and that it's actually venting outside of your house. Sometimes they just shoot it right up into the attic, which isn't the best way to do it. You want to really make sure you run that all the way out. A lot of the renovators that we work behind, they spend a lot of time messing with fans, and overwhelmingly, particularly if it's like the original one from when the house was originally built, most of the time they are underpowered and then not properly vented. So that being said, regardless of how well or not well your bathroom is vented, to give yourself the best possible chance of the paint holding up well, you do want to use a product like this. Haven't had any durability issues with this. I've seen it works really well, holds up decently. Because it's made to get wet, it does hold up a little bit better to like being wiped down or washed. I would caution against scrubbing it with any kind of abrasive sponge or anything like that, because anytime you do that, you are going to start knocking the sheen off of the paint. So just be aware of that. I would just try and like wipe it down as gently as possible if you're looking to clean something. So there you go, my friends. If you are painting a high moisture area and you would like to use a Benjamin Moore product, then Aura Bath and Spa is your jam. If you're not locked into Benjamin Moore, then I would take a look at Duration Matte or Emerald Matte from Sherwin-Williams. That's just my preference, doesn't have to be yours, and it doesn't mean that you won't like this product, particularly if you take into account what I was saying earlier about making sure your rolling is really tight to your cut-in lines. But there you go. That's going to do it for me. If you all found this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And until next time, y'all take it easy, work smart, and have a good one. Peace.
Amazing.